Today we're going to learn all about the first week of Sivan, when the Jewish people received the Torah. Let me explain something to you with an interesting question. Hashem took the Jewish people out of Mitzrayim on Pesach. Okay, so it took a week till the Jews left. Oh, I could even show you some of those pictures when they left a long time ago with charts and all kinds of exciting things. I don't know if you're grown up enough to know what a chart looks like, but if you do, we'll see that. But anyway, so they left Egypt, and it took a week till Hashem split the Yam Suf and killed all the Egyptians. Okay, so now here's the question. How long was it till Hashem gave us the Torah? Was 7 weeks from when we left Egypt until Hashem gave us her. 7 weeks. So here's the question. Why didn't Hashem give us the Torah right after he killed all the Egyptians? He killed all the Egyptians. That was 1 week after we left Egypt. He killed them all. We're free. There's no more Egyptians. So why doesn't Hashem take us right to our Sinai right away and boom, give us the Torah? They were all excited to get the Torah. Why did they have to wait another 6 weeks to get the Torah? Do you understand what I'm asking? Because then the holiday of Shavuos would be a lot earlier. Anybody got any ideas? Want to try? It's a very hard question, but the answer is very interesting. Okay, I see we have the DeVere family is here. And if you want, you can show your faces because everybody else is showing their faces. Yes, Tehila, go ahead.
Is it because Bnei Yisrael were complaining a lot, and so Hashem wanted to wait till they would stop complaining, so then you could give them the Torah?
Wow, that's an outstanding answer. That's amazing. Now we have another. I wasn't thinking of that answer, but you're absolutely right. That's for sure a good answer. Because Hashem can't give the Torah to people who are complaining. Tremendous answer. But there's still 2 more reasons. You got one of the right reasons. But there's still 2 more reasons. Let me explain to you with 2 little stories. 2 little short stories. Okay. One time in the middle of the school year, a little boy, he's about 7, 8 years old. He normally goes to school. But one day, this little boy, he tripped. He tripped on the sidewalk. And he didn't fall in a good way. And he fell and he rolled down a hill. And he was really hurt badly. So they had to take him to the hospital. And I guess he wasn't going to school that day, huh? Nope. And he had to stay in the hospital for a few weeks till he was at least better. He doesn't have to stay in the hospital. After 3 weeks, he got home. But boy, he still didn't look so good. Still, everything hurt him. But at least he didn't have to have nurses and doctors in front of him, so his parents could take care of him. Well, the day later, the principal from the school called the house. And he said, Mrs. Schwartz, I heard that your son is back from home from the hospital. So I'd like to see him in school tomorrow. So Mrs. Schwartz said, I'm really sorry. I know he's not in the hospital, but he's still very tired. He's very weak, and he's now got to stay at home for at least another 7 weeks till he gets all better and he's strong enough to go to school. I have to give him food. I have to give all kinds of things to get him ready. And then we'll send him back to school when he's strong and ready to go. Now, this story tells us a little bit about Hashem, because when the Jewish people left Egypt, remember they were beaten by Egypt. It was all kinds of bad things were going on in Egypt. And they were still very scared and a lot of things like that. So what Hashem needed is like the Jewish people needed to rest and recover, just like the boy in the story needed to rest and recover. And then after 7 weeks, they felt a lot better and stronger. Then they could get the Torah. That's another reason why Hashem had to wait. Another interesting answer is like a story with a prince who's looking to marry a pretty girl and to be his wife. So he heard about a special girl from a very special family, and she looked like a girl he wanted to marry. But you just don't go over to a girl and say, will you marry me? You know, there's got to be a reason for a girl to want to marry a boy. So what did he do? He would give her lots of gifts, and he'd give her the gifts she would like, then maybe she'd want to marry him. So let's say he heard that she's going to the bakery. Oh, she's going to the bakery. She likes things from the bakery. So what did he do? He ordered that a big cream-filled, yummy Sobeys cake should be delivered to her house from the king. Whoa, she saw that beautiful cake. Whoa, that king's such a nice guy. Then he found out one day she wants to go to the store to buy herself a dress. Oh, she likes dresses. So the king ordered his special tailor to make the fanciest dress and send it to the girl. And she was happy. When she heard that she wanted to go to the restaurant, the king had his special chefs make the fanciest pizza you ever saw in your life. Like mamish, unbelievable pizza that never had before. And then when she wanted to go to the store to buy wine, he bought her the greatest wine. When she went to the chocolate store, he bought her a huge chocolate, a chocolate statue of the princess. Whoa, that's big. She saw the king was giving her so many presents, all the kinds of things she wanted. So now when the princess saw the king's a nice guy, now the king goes to her and said, will you marry me? He says, well, look, I think you like me. You gave me yummy cake. You gave me yummy pizza. Gave me nice clothes, this and that. You know what? I think I'll marry you. So boys and girls, you have to know something. When we got the Torah from Hashem, it wasn't just the fact that Hashem says, okay, I'm the king and you're going to do these things. This is much more. And this is a little bit hard for some of you to understand. But when Hashem gave us the Torah at Har Sinai, it's like he married us. Hashem married us. Like a man marries a lady. Now, all of you know a lot about that because you look at your Abba, he's a man. You look at your Ima, she's a lady. A man and a lady, they get married because they like each other and they stay married forever. Amir Hashem. So when Hashem gave us the Torah, it wasn't just giving us laws. It was like Hashem was marrying us. So if Hashem wants to marry us, he wants us to like him. So what does he do? We come out of Egypt. We don't have anything to drink. Oh, he gives us water. We don't have anything to eat. He gives us man. We don't have clothes. Hashem made sure our clothes never got dirty. We don't have protection. He gave us clouds to protect us. The Jewish people saw that Hashem is giving us all these gifts. And we're going to see today, when Hashem asks the Jews to marry him, they said, we will. But it took 7 weeks of gifts for them to do that. So you understand? Anybody have a question on that? You understand that? I hope it's not too hard for everybody. Yeah, you got that part? Okay. So now that you got that part, now we go to the really exciting stuff. Look, I think you see the screen. Can anybody read what these yellow words say? Anybody? Let's see, give everybody a chance over here. Okay, Ariello.
6 days before Matan Torah.
The 6 days before Matan Torah. These were the 6. Matan Torah means the giving of the Torah, and it means the wedding. Think of the giving of the Torah is the wedding. And Hashem married us. And each and every one of us, boys and girls, you, me, all of you, we're all married to Hashem. And you know, father and mother are married. You think your mother's going to one day say, I'm just leaving, going where I want to go? No, because she's married to your daddy. Think your daddy's going to say, I'm just leaving. I don't care. I'm not coming back. No, he's married. You never have to worry about your father and mother leaving because they love each other married. Let's go through the 6 days till Hashem gave us the Torah, and let's see how the wedding took place. So now we're going to go to day number 1. Okay, day number 1 on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, the first day of Sivan, the Jewish people came to Mount Har Sinai. If you can read a map, you see they left the Yam Suf. They traveled around. See this line? It's all a desert. And they went traveling around. Look where they're going. Look where they're going. Oh, boom! Here they are. Big arrow. Har Chorev, Har Sinai. This is where they were. So on day 1, the Jewish people, Rosh Chodesh Sivan, the Jewish people came to the desert of Sinai. And like Tehillah said so nicely, they came as one. They were one group. They were not fighting. So that's important. On the first day of Rosh Chodesh, they came to the mountain. They were tired, but they were not fighting. And since they weren't fighting, they could get the Torah. And since they were tired, Hashem wasn't going to bother them anymore. He won't bother them anymore. That's what happened on the first day. Okay, now we're going to look at the second day. The second day, here's our picture. Early in the morning, Moshe Rabbeinu climbs up to the mountain. That's where all the talking with Hashem happened. And he was told by Hashem that he should tell the Jewish people, I want you to be my wife or my nation. And guess what? If you will be my nation, you will have a privilege to become my Am Segula, my treasure. Now, you know what it means to call somebody a treasure? A treasure means, okay, Tehillah, if we could not do that stuff with our faces over there because it distracts things, because everyone looks at the pictures and they forget to listen. Okay? So therefore Hashem said, I want you to be my treasure. And remember we said yesterday, who's he going first? To the men or to the women? Do you remember what we said yesterday? Who's he going to ask first? The men or the women? Huh? Let's see, anybody else? Let me just see who's trying to get it. Okay, Matana?
Woman.
The women. So that's what Hashem says. I want you to be my treasure. Moshe gets up early, and you're going to be my treasure. And you're also going to be kings. You're going to be kings. Every one of you is going to be a king. And Hashem was told, go speak to the ladies first. Okay, the second day continues. Moshe comes down to the mountain, see? He comes down to the mountain and he says, Hashem wants you to be his treasure. He wants you to be his treasure. He wants you to marry him. Now, what does it say? Let's see if you can read this. Kol asher diber Hashem na'aseh. We'll do whatever Hashem wants. Wait a minute. Are those the magic words, though? Remember we said what the magic words were? Yes. Was this the magic words?
No.
No, it only is Nasa. It only said Nasa. But that's also pretty good. So he comes down and they all said, Nasa, we will do it. That's what they said on the second day. Let's move on. So that's good news so far. They're interested. Now we come to the third day. Now, Moshe comes back to Hashem and said, you know what? They accept your offer. They will be the nation of Hashem. Now, think about this. You know what's very interesting? Does Hashem need Moshe to tell him that the Jewish people said Nasa? Do you think Hashem needs Moshe? You think Hashem wouldn't know? Would Hashem know if Moshe told him anyway? Of course he would know. So what does that mean? Because, when someone sends you on a job, you always have to go back and tell them, even if the person knows it. So he says, yes, they're willing to take it. So Hashem says, okay, what's going to happen is tell the Jewish people that Hashem, I will tell you, Moshe, the 10 commandments, and you will tell it to the people. Hashem says, tell them what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you the Torah, and you're going to tell it to the people. And that's what Hashem says on the third day. Now, we don't know what the answer is in the Torah, but later on it says somewhere else. It says Moshe comes back, and the Jews said, oh no, that's not good. We don't want Hashem to tell you what the Torah is, and then you're going to tell us, no. Ritzonenu liros es malkeinu. We want to hear it straight from Hashem. Straight from Hashem. We don't want anybody in between. We want to hear it straight from Hashem. That was the end of the third day. Comes along the fourth day. The fourth day. Now, Moshe says, Hashem, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the Jewish people love you so much, they want you to tell them straight the mitzvahs. Hashem says, okay, if they want to hear me straight, it's going to be scary. You're going to see how scary it is tomorrow. If they want it, fine. But now Hashem says, you know what? They now have to prepare for 3 days. They got to prepare. You got to prepare, because if Hashem's going to talk to you, this is not simple. So Hashem says, listen, make a boundary at the mountain. No one's allowed to come to the mountain. It's going to be too powerful. Anybody comes to the mountain, the Shekhinah's there, they would die. So be careful. Get them ready for 3 days. And Hashem says there's got to be a special way you got to be ready to receive the Torah. Moshe is going to be the one who's very close. Then Aaron a little behind. Nadav and Avi a little behind. The 70 Zakadim a little behind. And the Jews all behind that. And then when they're going to give the Torah, you all have to bend down and bow down to Hashem. This was all on the beginning of the fourth day. Hashem saying, get ready. So on this day as well, Moshe had a lot of work to do. You know what he had to do? First of all the Abbas and Imas, they made boundaries. Hashem reviewed some of the Torah with them. And he took a book and he wrote down all these beautiful, the whole Torah from the beginning of Breshis until now, and all the mitzvahs. And this was called a special book of the bris between us and Hashem. This all happened on the fourth day. That's a lot of stuff going on over here. So much stuff. And again, when Moshe says, you want to do all this stuff? They say, Nasa, we will do it. But they're still missing the magic words. They're missing the magic words. When is it going to be the time that they're going to say Nasa v'nishma? Oh, now we come to the next day, the day before the giving of the Torah. Whoa, now look at all the stuff that's going on over here. The day before they got the Torah. First of all, Moshe builds a big mizbeach, a big altar right next to the mountain. And then Moshe made 12 big monuments for every one of the Shvatim. And all the firstborn boys, they brought karbanos. And Moshe took half of the blood and sprinkled it on the mizbeach, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the people. Did you ever have blood sprinkled on you before? This is when you make a promise. You want to be together forever. Moshe took the Chumash out of the whole Torah. He reads it to the people. And now comes the words we were waiting for. Nasa v'nishma. Boom. We will do and we will listen. That's what Hashem wanted to hear. Then Moshe took all the blood from the korbanos, sprinkled it over everybody. And now they're getting up to the mountain and they're ready for business. They're now ready to receive the Torah. Okay, but that, we gotta wait. There's also another amazing thing happened on one of those days. You know, I forgot to tell you something very important. Tell me if you think. Do you think every Jew who got out of Egypt was healthy? Or were they mostly sick? What do you think? The Jewish people, were they
Mostly sick.
Mostly sick. Why were they sick?
Because they couldn't do anything. Like they were working and they couldn't even take a bath.
More than that, they were sick because the Egyptians beat them up every day when they were slaves. Do you know the Jewish people when they were slaves? And the Egyptians, you're not working hard enough. So what would they do? They'd punch them. They'd throw them on the ground. They'd take a whip and whip them. And they really did some really nasty things. You know what they would do? I don't want to scare you. They'd poke their eyes out and make them blind. They'd chop an arm off if they weren't happy with what you did. Chas v'sholom. They'd chop a foot off. The Jewish people were such a sick people, not from their fault. It wasn't their fault. The Egyptians were so cruel. They were so cruel. They hurt them. They beat them up. And the Jewish people, you know, like they're all beat up. Now, Hashem says, you know what? I don't want the Jewish people to want to get married to me because they're so sick and they need somebody to take care of them because they're so sick. I don't want it that way. So Hashem did one of the another huge miracle. All of a sudden, on one of the days, what was the miracle? You know what the miracle was? Everybody woke up in the morning. The person was blind. He could see. The person was missing a foot. The foot grew back. The person was missing an arm. The arm grew back. You know, I don't know if you ever see chas v'sholom. You ever see people, they come back from war to get their hands blown off. It takes weeks and months to give them a fake hand, you know, a fake hand, but not a real hand. A fake foot, but not a real foot. Hashem made it that the hand just grew back. It was healthy. Every Jew before they got the Torah was 100% healthy and strong. Now, you know why Hashem did that? He said, I want to give you the Torah, but guess what? If you don't want the Torah, you're healthy and strong. You could leave on your own. If you don't want me, you don't have to have me. If you're sick and nobody could help you, I understand you're going to want to marry me because I'm the one who could help you. But I'm making you healthy and strong. Now, do you still want the Torah or not? And the Jewish people said, Nasa v'nishma. Oh, that made Hashem so happy. Made Hashem so happy that we wanted to marry Hashem. He says, now that you want to get married to me, that's amazing. And now tomorrow we're setting up the stage for, as it says, the 6th of Sivan, the awesome day of Matan Torah. That awesome means it's unbelievable. But you will see what's going to happen on that day tomorrow. But what do we still got to do? 1 second. I can't get to any of these things here. Let me just move this out. Let's close this. And let's close this. And now we're going to go to this. And let's see. Today we're going to send out the 20 questions. The 20 questions for those who think they're smart and can answer them. Let's just do a couple of the questions now. It's really easy. All you got to do is circle the right answer. So let's try it out. Okay, raise your hand if you're going to know the answer to the question here. Bnei Yisrael came to Har Sinai on which day? Let's see. Gimel Tammuz, Tu B'Shvat, Aleph Sivan, or Rosh. Don't call out. When you call out, it's not good. Or Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Who thinks they know the answer to that question? Let me just look around and see who's got their hands up. I was able to see everybody. Okay, Adina, what is it?
Is it the last one?
Rosh Chodesh Sivan is correct, and it's also Aleph Sivan, because Rosh Chodesh Sivan is the first visit. Two answers. Let's look at the next one. They arrived at Har Sinai on a Sunday. Hashem did not speak to Moshe that day. For what reason? Was it A, let the Jews unpack their belongings? B, allow them to daven on time? C, rest up from their journey? D, let them review some halachas learned at Mara. What's the answer? A, B, C, or D? Let's see. Who's got their hand up? Ellie, is your hand up or not? I'm not sure. It is. If it's up, you could answer. If it's not, you don't have to answer. It's not up. Okay. Let's see who else got their hand up. Okay. Ariella.
Is it B?
Not B. Not B. Let's try another answer. Ooh. Okay, Hillel.
I want to say something about you. When my Rabbi was little, you used to teach him an Eitz Chaim when he was little. My Rabbi.
Who? Your Rabbi. Who's your Rabbi?
Rabbi Klein.
No, Rabbi Kleiner. Yep, I did. That's true.
Klein.
Okay, yes, also him. Okay, who knows the answer here? Who knows the answer? The answer is Adina.
D.
No. We got only two left now. He didn't speak to them that day because it's not B and it's not D. So what's left to pick? There's only two left to pick. What do you think? Does any of the Michalowiczes know? Go ahead, unmute. No? No?
Yeah, where's the question?
Right here. Do you see it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the answer? Ellie? Unmute. Yeah. C, to rest up from their journey because they were tired. Okay, we've got time for one more question. This was the first time that the Bnei Yisrael had camped at a place, A, near mountains, B, with water, C, without fighting, D, with food. This was the first time the Jews camped, and the answer is... I got hands. Okay. Shiriel, what do you think?
Without fighting.
Bingo! Without fighting. Amazing. Okay, we got time for one more. The next morning on the 2nd of Sivan, Hashem spoke to Moshe. A, early in the morning. B, in the middle of the night. C, in the afternoon. D, after the sun had melted. Okay, Rivka, what is it?
Press the
A.
A, early in the morning. Very good. Okay, I'm going to send this out a little bit later today. Wow, 20 questions. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Boy, let's see if you can figure them out. Some of them are a little tricky, but we may... you know what I'm going to do? I'm only going to send you one sheet today. Okay, I'm going to take out one sheet, and that will be enough. And then we'll talk about other sheets tomorrow. Okay, very good. You behaved really nicely, guys. You were unbelievable. It was such a pleasure to learn with all of you. So we're going to stop the share and we're going to turn off the recording and everybody.